Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new economics episode. Today, we're going to talk about uh, the changes of the prices and quantity demanded and and supplied. So, welcome everyone, and we're going to have today demand, supply, and equilibrium. Why prices keep changing in the market nowadays, up and down, quantities as well, and prices goes up and down until they go at a fixed point or a stable point. Then again, it moves up or down. Quantity as well, supply and demand are also changing. So let's see here what we have. Welcome everyone, and let's see. Demand goods and services, as we say, demand. The demand is not just you needing or you wanting to have something or wanted to buy something. You have to have the ability to buy. So we're talking about purchasing power as well. Demand for goods and services. As we see here, the next slide, I have a curve, as you see here, and I have a table, got some numbers and a curve, and let's just define every one of them. Let's just make it easy. So a demand for goods and services, we have the schedule. It's basically a table, as you see here. This is the demand, the table. We just got some numbers and quantities. So number and quantities, and see changes in the numbers and quantities. The next one, I have demand curve. Here's the curve. It shows the different quantities and different quantities, different prices and quantities demanded. Finally, we're going to see here the law of supply, and the law of demand. So we're going to go. We're going to talk about the demand first. So the law of demand, as we see here, the higher the price, the lower the quantity. So the curve shows here an inverse relation. High price, low quantity, low price, higher quantity. So it's high, low, low, high. It's an inverse relation. High price, low quantity. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. So it's an inverse relation. The curve is sloping from left to right, from up, left, down to the right. So it's a slope uh, to from left to right. And in the meanwhile, it's an inverse relation. So up, down, down, up. Very simple. Same way as we have for supply, goods and services. Supply also has got some table. I got a table here, a supply table. And this is going to show some numbers, prices, and in this column, we see the quantities changing. So the main factor for supply and demand is the price. So the price change, quantity changes accordingly. Okay, and here's the curve. And the curve here is showing us a relation between prices and quantities. So as you see here, the curve got direct relation. High price, high quantity, low price, low quantity. The curve slopes from right to left. From right to left, slope down. So it's a direct relation. The higher the price, the lower the quantity. High, high, low, low. So this is direct. Unlike the demand, it's an inverse, high, low, low, high. High price, low quantity, low price, higher quantity. So it's high, low, low, high. It's for demand. And for supply, it's direct, high, high, low, low. So it's direct relation for the supply. Now, what happens in the next slide here? I have something called equilibrium. Equilibrium comes from equal. So what would that mean? Equilibrium price is a price at that point, or it's a point at which here it's $1.40. The quantity demanded, quantity supplied are equal, which is 600. So when the two curves cross or intersect or cross, whatever you want to call it, they meet at that point. The point E is the equilibrium price. So the price that I'm looking at here is $1.40. So add $1.40, quantity supply, quantity demand are equal. You say it the way you want. Okay, and that quantity is 600 units. So as this table here is going to show us gas prices, we have prices range from $1 to 220. $1, $1.20, $1.40, $1.60, 80, $2, and 220. And those are the quantities as you see here. The demand is direct, the demand is inverse. The dollar price get the highest quantity demanded, while the $2.20 prices get the least amount required or demanded. $1.60, $1.40 got 600 quantity. In this one here, in that table, the quantity supplied is direct. The higher the price, 220, got the highest quantity supplied, while the lowest price got the lowest quantity supplied. At $1.40, it got also 600 units. And here, equilibrium price meets when the supply curve meets or intersect or cross the demand curve at the point E. $1.40 quantity is 600. Now, so what is surplus and what is shortage? So let's take the first one. At the $1.80, as you see here, so this is the equilibrium price. When the price change and goes above the equilibrium price. So what is equilibrium price? $1.40. If the price changed to $1.80 for some reasons, $1.80 is above the equilibrium price, as you see here, $1.80. So what happens at that point? The quantity demanded here is only 500. See down here, go down in the curve, demand, this is D here, demand, slope, left to right. So $1.80 price above equilibrium price, higher than equilibrium price. The demanded quantity, the market needs 500 units. While the market is willing to supply a 680. See, this is before 700, so 680. The market is willing, or the suppliers are willing to offer that much, or they're offering actually that much, 680, while the market is only in need for 500 units only. So that means you have more quantity supplied than the market need. You have more quantity supplied, which 680, more than the market needs, which is only 500. So this gap is called a surplus. Supply more than the market need. 680 units are supplied while the market needs only 500 units. So this gap here is the surplus. When this happens, when the price goes above the equilibrium price. From $1.40, the prices has gone up to $1.80. Meanwhile, if the price goes below equilibrium price to $1.20, and see what happens here. $1.20. So what's going to happen here? When the price dropped down from $1.40 in the equilibrium price down to $1.20 below equilibrium price, quantities supplied are 550, as you see here, while the market is in need of 700. So can you imagine? You got 550 units ready to be sold, but the market is in need for 700. So what would that be called? You need 700, the demand needs 700, but the market has only 550 units. So there's a gap here, the shortage between the 700 units and the 550. So this is a shortage. The market goes in a shortage. So obviously this is going to cause the price to goes up again because the demand is higher than the supply. So that means the prices are going to go up. And same case here, when we have this gap, more quantity supply than the market needs, it's going to push down the price to the equilibrium price. This is exactly what happens. A fixed point or a stable point here, $1.40, price goes up a bit, then the market is going to push down the price because they don't need all this much quantity supplied. They're more than what the market needs. The price are going to be pushed down to $1.40 one more time, back to another stable, another equilibrium price, or back to the same equilibrium price. While the price dropped down to $1.20, the price goes down to $1.20, the market is going to push up the price back again to the $1.40 because the quantity supplied is more. The quantity supplied here is less than the quantity demanded. So higher demand, lower quantity, price is going to be pushed up again to $1.40. So this is what it's called equilibrium price. Well, so I think we came to the end of this session. So let's review back. We have demand, supply, and equilibrium. We knew what demand is. We got a table, we got a curve, and we describe how the curve reflect the relation between prices and demand, and it's inverse relation, and the slope goes from left to the right. Same thing here in the supply. We've got a table, we've got a curve, and the curve reflect the relation, a direct relation between prices and quantity, and it slopes from right to left, and it shows a direct relation. And finally, we've got the equilibrium price and a point where the prices, demand, and price quantities are equal. And we got to know the surplus and what happens, why it happens, and also we know the shortage and why it happens. And both of them will push up or down the price back to the equilibrium price. So that would be it for today. Thanks for being with me today. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and I will see you again shortly in another episode. We're going to talk about the changes or the shifting on the curve. So why demand and supply curve shifting, and what caused this, and how we could measure that shift. And from there, we're going to know the elastic and inelastic product. So I'll see you shortly. Thanks for joining me again, and I will see you shortly. Thanks. Have a nice day.